Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all the books that I read for the month of September. I read a total of 6 books, and it wasn't a very exciting month for me. I didn't have any 5-star reads. I didn't have any books that I hated either. It was just kind of middle of the road. I was coming out of a reading slump, and I am happy to say in the month of October I am past that slump. But September was just kind of meh, but not bad. All right, so let's get into it. So the first book that I read for the month of September is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan by Jessica Townsend. This is a middle grade fantasy, and this is about a girl named Morrigan who is a cursed child. And on the eve of the night that she's supposed to die, she is whisked away by a mysterious man by the name of Jupiter North to the magical realm of Nevermoor. And she has to compete in a series of games to secure her place to stay in Nevermoor forever. So this book was very fun and quirky and kind of eccentric, very Harry Potter-esque, gave off Harry Potter vibes, maybe a little Hunger Games vibes, but it was a middle grade and it was very clean and fun, and I really enjoyed it. It was magical and it was just very, very fun. And I really liked the found family in this. There was a great found family, and the trials that she had to go through were very fun, and yeah, it was a cool book. So I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. The second book that I read for the month of September is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Carroll. This was my first time to read this book, actually. I grew up on the cartoon movie, and it's one of my favorites to this day still, and this is my first time to read it. This was a cute book. I still like the cartoon movie better, but maybe because I grew up on it and just really liked that and it's nostalgic. But a lot of this, a lot of the stories in Through the Looking Glass are actually in the old 1950s Disney cartoon. I was expecting most of the stories to be from the actual Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but a lot of them are in Through the Looking Glass, so which I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this was a 4 out of 5 for me. All right, so the third book that I read in September is Borrow My Heart by either Kasie or Cassie West. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but this one was super cute. This is a young adult rom-com, and it's about a girl named Erin who helps a boy out by the name of Asher by pretending to be his internet date who has stood him up, so he will not have to go through humiliation from his best friend, because his best friend thought that he was going to get stood up, and so she just wants to help Asher out, and therefore a cute, squeaky clean romance ensues. This book was adorable, squeaky clean, and filled with animals. Dogs, cats, everything, because Ren works at an animal shelter. So if you love animals, then this is the book for you, definitely. And it was just adorable. I loved this book. This was a 4 out of 5 for me. The fourth book that I read in September is Hello Stranger by Katherine. This is a rom-com, and this is actually my first Katherine book to read, and it was fun. I liked it. So this is about a girl named Sadie who, after a quick brain surgery, has developed facial blindness, and she cannot recognize the faces of people. It's basically like kind of like a Van Gogh styled jumble. She just cannot read their faces and tell their features or who anybody is. And so she is having to navigate her life. In her career, she is a portrait artist, and she has just been invited to compete in a very big competition for a lot of money, and she has to paint a portrait of somebody. And so you can understand how frustrated she is and just devastated. And she does fall for 2 different guys, and she cannot see their faces. So that is very, very interesting and makes for a really fun twist to the story. And she is dealing with family issues from an estranged father and stepmother and very mean and wicked stepsister that I just cannot stand, actually. So this was a really cute book. I enjoyed it. I was really excited to read it for such a long time. I hyped it up in my brain super high. So that's why it only ended up out of 4 out of 5 for me, but I did not, I just think I hyped it up too much, but it was adorable. It was super funny. I loved the romance. It was so romantic and awesome. It was not super clean, so there was some language in there, but it wasn't horrible either. It was very interesting to read about this disability represented, the facial blindness. I never heard of that in my life, so that was very interesting, and I thought it was a very cool way to have a story about that, actually. So I liked it. 4 out of 5. Okay, so the 5th book that I read in September is Careless, Whiskers by Miranda James. This is a cozy mystery series, and you don't have to read the series from book 1 in order to understand what this book is about. This book is about amateur sleuth Charlie. His name is Charlie. He has to work on clearing his daughter's name from the suspect list because a very annoying, cocky actor was murdered during the play that she and her husband were directing. So he has to try to get her name cleared, and much to the police's chagrin, he helps them out and figure out who the murderer was. This was a great book. It was engaging. It was really good writing. I was surprised who the killer was, so I really like that. I don't like to guess the killer early on, so when I get to the end and I'm surprised who the killer was, I just love that. So I really liked this one also because of the animals. So he has 2 cats. Yes, he has 2 cats, and one of them follows him and like kind of helps him figure out the killer. So yes, I liked the cats in this one. This was 4 out of 5 stars. And the 6th and final book that I read for the month of September is Warriors, the Sunrail by Erin Hunter. So if you don't know, she has like a ton of books in these series. There's like the Warriors series, there's the Survivors, there's another one I think that has to do with like wild animals, bears and such. And the Warriors are about cats. So this is a middle grade fantasy, and this is supposed to be a prequel to the very first book that she wrote years and years ago. And this is all about the cats and how their clans were started, basically. So they have to make a journey from their old home that has become almost inhabitable, and they can't find food, and the winters are too harsh, and they have to follow a leader got a vision about the sun trail and to follow the sun trail to their new home. So that's basically the premise of that story, and exactly how the clan started for the first book to take place. This one, it was my very first Erin Hunter book, and in this series in general. There is like I want to say a second and third book for this particular prequel, and I'm not sure how I felt about this one. I have read that I needed to start with the very first book that she has ever written, so that was probably my bad. But this one was like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. I didn't dislike it. It was just maybe not my favorite one that I read this month. I can't stand when animals are hurt and get killed and all of that, and unfortunately that was kind of what happened in this book, because their journey to this new location for their home was very perilous and hard, and sometimes tragedy ensues. But it was not a horrible book by any means. It was very adventurous, it was engaging, but not everything was happy, so I will leave it at that. But I mean, that's kind of, I knew that going in, so I wasn't like caught off guard or anything, but I think I will try to give the very first book a try and see how I like it. Okay, those were all the 6 books I read for the month of September. Like I said, not my favorite month for reading, but wasn't bad by any means. I cannot wait to find my 5-star book again. I love it when I find a 5-star. They are rare, but hey, 5 stars should be rare, right? So yes, that was my month of September. And I thank you so much for watching and sticking with me to the end. If you liked the content today, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching and have a blessed day. Bye.